Good morning and welcome to Quest Television and Quest 93.1 FM. It is the second day in the month of June 2023. A lovely Friday morning here in the studios, and well, another Friday for us to see what the headlines on the dailies have. With that being said, my name is Orikemi Mariam and this is the paper review on Quest today. Making a return back to the studios this morning are 5 newspapers. We have The Guardian, The Nation, The Daily Sun, The Daily Trust, and The Punch newspaper. And you know, it's a Friday. I do not do this alone. With me this morning in the studio is my colleague, the president of Michael Gobadia, and also, well, our admirable Quest analyst and our proverbial bishop. President of Comrade Efe Odomo. Good morning and welcome to the show.
I don't know what you said.
Yes.
You know, they say that the act of making children is done in nakedness.
Well, anyways, there we go again.
But I will drop mine. Mine is, he who goes out early to get fuel is wise. With that being said, let's head straight into the papers.
So it's one out this morning.
Well, the first paper for review this morning is the Guardian newspaper. And on the Guardian newspaper, the major headline states, 11 years after Occupy Nigeria, Tinubu tolls painful path to economic rebirth. That story you can read on page 4 and page 5 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Moving away from that, we have an NLC debunks strike action and unveils position today after consultations. It's making it to page 6 of the Guardian. Tinubu meets intelligence and security chiefs, gives mandates to tackle insecurity. It's making it to page 6 of the Guardian as well. And also, Nigeria's business conditions and confidence in economic level hit 5-month high. Do well to catch all of that on page 15. Moving away from that, we have Tinubu meets Lawan and Bajabiamila over National Assembly leadership. That story you can get on page 3. When you get on page 27, it says Enugu court remands 52 pro-Biafra agitators in prison. Well, do well to read all of these stories on the Guardian newspaper, and that's much we can take on the front page of the Guardian.
Well, the Daily Sun will be the next paper for us to quickly look at, as we have a whole lot of headlines there. But the leading story reads, Tinubu talks tough to service chiefs. Kickers to that directs them to provide adequate security measures and says working at cross purpose will no longer be condoned. And you can really get more of that story on page 6 of the Daily Sun. But what's on page 27 is Mba outlaws a Monday sit-at-home in Enugu as government to dialogue with stakeholders, plead with Tinubu to release IPOB leader Kanu. Definitely that story you can get on page 27. But another major story you can get on page 27 is fare hike, commercial vehicle scarcity as higher fuel price takes effect and commuters groan. And all of that story, like I said, is on page 26. Arewa youth plead with Yari to concede the Senate presidencies to Kalu, well, which is indeed a surprise and a very good one if it really comes to being. And 4 billion naira alleged fraud, EFCC detains and drills ex-executive governor Fayemi on page 4. Maritime workers begin strike on Monday is major one on page 27. And subsidy, reps seek forensic audit of 413 billion naira CBN loan. And that you can get on page 7. But another leading story, and which is also on the front page of the Daily Sun, and you can get on page 6, is OB Labour Party tender results different from INEC for Rivers, Benue, and 4 others. Challenges Tinubu victory in 18 states. You are wasting time of court. Tribunal berates petitioner over alleged unpreparedness. Well, like I said, page 6 has that story. IGP approved promotion of 31,465 personnel, and that's the leading story on page 4. But what's the picture of the day? Is that of the Senate President Ahmed Lawan and head of special envoy to the President of Korea. And that was when the special envoy to the President of Korea had a visit, not just to the Senate, but also to the Senate President and the Chief Whip. And we're talking of no other person but Dr. Oji Uzo Kanu. Well, that's the much we can take from the Daily Sun.
Okay, the next paper for review is the Nation newspaper. And on the Nation newspaper this morning, the major headline reads, subsidy removed to stop Nigeria from bankruptcy, says Kyari. The writer there says no payments by federal government since February, and also government and labor talks resume on Sunday. Do also read the story on the front page and continue on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Moving above the masthead, we have Tinubu orders centralized security coordination. Crackdown on oil thieves, President tells security chiefs. You can read that story on page 4. And on page 5 of the Nation, it says, obey APC zoning, non-serving senators tell Kalu and Yari. Do also read all of that on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. EFCC quizzes Fayemi for allegedly laundering 4 billion naira. It's making it to page 6 of the Nation newspaper. And also, Tribunal warns uncoordinated OB and Labour Party against time wasting. That story you can read on the front page and continue on page 6. 90% broadband penetration in targets is a story you can get on page 7. And also, while federal government workers' May salary is delayed, it's making it to page 4 of the Nation newspaper. And well, that's much we can take on the front page of the Nation.
Well, anyway, the Punch is where we'll love to go next. And on the Punch newspaper this morning, well, it seems to be more of a screamer and indeed a major one. And on the Punch this morning, Dangote Port Harcourt refinery orders will not change fuel price. I did not say so, but the NNPCL seems to be giving us that view as kickers to that to support what they said. This refinery's production input costs will rise, price to current levels, says Kiari. And NNPCL says 1.8 billion litres petrol available. Queues would not exceed Saturday. And also reps demand relief, palliatives for Nigerians, want oil swap deal suspended. But remember, we're taking a critical look at such palliatives later on the big story. When me and Orukemi really have to do justice to that. But anyway, just continue more of that story on page 2 of the Punch. Well, let me continue with that story on page 26 of the Punch. Naira trades 461 naira to a dollar as investors window as CBN denies devaluation. And still talking about the Naira, well, USSD telcos issue banks disconnection notice. And you can get that story on page 27. But what's on page 14? EFCC drills Fayemi over alleged 4 billion money laundering. It's a major one on page 14. But let's quickly get some others. Operators kick as maritime workers shut down port on Monday. And it's a major one on page 28. But what is quite disturbing is that story on page 4 and 5. New tenants flee with neighbors, 2 children in Abuja.
Wow.
Wow, quite disturbing. And BVAs or beavers manipulated in over 20 Kogi PUS tickles weakness is screaming out that loud on page 16. And oil theft and insecurity, President orders service chief is a major one on page 7, and also the picture of the day right there on the Punch. And that's what you can take from the Punch.
Okay, well, the final paper for review this morning is the Daily Trust. And on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, the major headline states, Tinubu gives service chiefs new security template. The writer there says, warns against interagency rivalry, and also says security reforms coming, orders immediate end to oil theft. All of this you can read on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Moving above that, we have on subsidy removal. It says workers and students groan as transport fare soars. It's making it to page 4. And also we have only policy change can explain 169 naira.4 kobo depreciation. Daily Trust replies CBN. Do want to read all of that on page 3. Moving away from that, EFCC grills Fayemi over alleged 4 billion naira misappropriation. It's making it to page 34. And on page 12, talking about the 10th National Assembly, it says women demand deputy speakership as Lawan and Gbajabiamila meet Tinubu. Do want to read all of that. And also cleric remanded for raping women seeking prayers. It's making it to page 29. And well, that's the much we can take on the front page of all the dailies this morning. Before we move over to Comrade, I'll open the phone line so you could have your say on the show. The numbers to call are on your screen, but for those on radio, the numbers are 080-22931-931 and 081-8888-931. Call into the station, call into the show, state your name, your location, and then have your say. With that being said, let's see if we have our first caller online this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Well, Michael, probably you should use your own touch on
Well,
this.
anyway, let's see if my baritone voice will do any magic. But before that, we'll also advise you, remember, let's stick with just what seems to be on the front pages of the dailies. And as much as you can do that, we also would really appreciate if you can just take some few and give others the opportunity to also be a part of it. Okay, let's see if we return to it then. Hello, good morning to you. Hello. Well, I hope it's not the subsidy on the fuel removal that's causing all of this. Okay, well, anyways, we'll fill it up by having to ask you some major questions. Can we just take the lead then?
Okay. Well, on the front page of all the dailies this morning is talking about the meeting which President Tinubu had with his service chiefs, talking about the new security templates. Now, my question is this. Do you think that this new regime will actually have headway in terms of the insecurity issues we have right now?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Oh, well, come on, before you answer that, let's take this call. Hello?
This is Mr. Precious calling from Mekirame.
All right, Mr. Precious, please welcome to the show and have your say.
The airline has said that it's definitely switch to protect oil theft and others. My concern is that they should not only protect only oil theft. They should protect life and property. People are dying every day. And the president is saying that they should protect, or which oil are they protecting so that they can go back there and fish oil? They should be able to protect in Nigeria. People are dying every day, not just to protect oil. That's my take this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Precious. Well, you did seem emotional about it.
Yes.
But before we move on, before Comrade answers on this, let's take more calls. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Matthew from Owase.
Mr. Matthew from Owase, welcome to the show. Please have your say.
Yeah, thank you. Please, our president, Tinubu, meeting with service chiefs. I know you are giving them orders, but the truth is that the service chiefs will reflect the federal character of this country. A situation whereby all the service chiefs are for a particular area of this country is not good enough. To me, there should be reshufflement of the service chiefs if they want the best for this country. I think Tinubu will do the right thing. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much. With that being said, let's take more calls. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Do not forget you could drop your messages on our social media platform. That's Quest Live Online, Facebook, YouTube, and even Instagram. But it seems we have a caller right now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Joseph from...
Hello?
Joseph from...
All right.
Really?
Okay, Mr. Joseph, please have your say.
Okay. It is the workers and running on the hike of fuel. Personnel house cannot
Okay, well, it looks as if we're having issues with that very connection. I will plead with you, Mr. Joseph, to call back because we just couldn't get a full grasp of what you're saying and really didn't do well on that account. But anyway, let's see if we take more calls and get more reaction. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes. Your name and where you calling from?
Johnson Popo from Popesico.
Okay, go ahead.
I would like to ask about this promotion for the police officers from the rank of ASP or based from the rank of which particular?
Well, it was not stated, but we do know that there's been a promotion of almost 31,847 police officers. But what their different posts will be is not fully stated. But I'll just implore you, just still remember to stick around with Quest. We might really have a review of that in any of our news bulletin, and you'll be well informed and updated on it. Well, Kemi, looks as if we need more calls and get more reactions.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello, good morning, welcome to the show.
Hello?
Hello, good morning, welcome to the show. Your name, your location?
Yeah, good morning. I am Jonathan Ujieshiri from Erumo Kokwani.
All right, Mr. Jonathan, please have your say.
Yes. Yes, Tinubu has started very well by implementing this subsidy, by removing it. Because the marketers have been driving this country to a down from beginning. Nobody knows what they were doing. Because the people driving this country, that is making us to be very poor in this country. So he has started very well. Then the other thing is security. Tinubu must not take security as a play in this country. People are dying every day. Every day. Killings everywhere. You must not stop doing this. Then on the long run, the stealing of the oil. All these service chiefs, they must have to stand on their feet. You must make sure that you implement that security system in this country. The service chiefs must stand on their feet in every way possible. So that this country will be safe for everybody's living. So that's my stay this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, he's indeed said a lot, but we still have time to take more calls.
Yeah, we still do have time to take more calls, and also to come to Comrade F.L. To give us his view on some of the issues being raised, especially on the front pages of the dailies. Yes. But let's see if we return to the calls then.
Hello? Hello? Hello, good morning.
Well, just look as if they're waiting for us to, or rather...
Hello?
Okay, yeah, we have someone on the line. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello. I'm Vincent. I'm calling from Ugale.
Okay, Vincent, please go right ahead.
Bajabi Amila and Ahmed Lama meeting Tinubu.
Yes.
About the position of Speaker. Meeting Tinubu about the position of Speaker and Senate President.
Yes.
Yes.
Their time have expired. They should leave Nigeria alone. They should go away. This for other people to do what to come aboard. So that's my contribution.
Anyways, it looks as if everybody has a different view, especially on the different headlines on the papers. And well, anyways, it might be hilarious, but well, he just stated what he feels. And it's a time for the new 10th National Assembly to take
good
charge.
Morning.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
This is Mr. Ring McKinney calling from Monia.
All right, Mr. Ray Martini, please have your say.
Ring McKinney. My take this morning is on our President Tinubu that the marching order give to the service chiefs that they should be on the same page in fighting oil theft. That's a good one. We don't want to reoccurrence of what happened in Kaduna, Wadome matter to happen here in the country. They should be on the same page when they are working, so that oil theft that they give in the Niger Delta will reduce to the barest minimum. So they should work on the same page. The service chiefs. That's my take this morning. Thank you. God bless you people.
Thank you very much. Well, at this point, comrade, we have to move over to you to enlighten us on some of the headlines making the rounds on all the dailies. But like I asked before, talking about the meeting President Tinubu had with his city chiefs on the issue of insecurity, one of the callers raised a suggestion and said, how about reshuffling of this service chiefs? What's your take on that?
Look, whenever you assume position as a president or the leadership of any organization, the first thing to do is to stabilize yourself in the office. Then you now talk of reshufflement. These very security chiefs cannot continue with the president. He has his own men that he has to work with. And again, if you take a child to somewhere to go and look after, that is, if you take a nanny or a child, let me use the word child, to another person's house to go and look over the baby. If the baby dies, then the child knows that his job is finished. The administration of Buhari has come and gone. The service chiefs should know quite well that their jobs are over. But the president cannot do that now because he needs the National Assembly in place so that they will scrutinize the nominees.
Okay.
And you know, in the military, there is something they do. If you appoint, like, assuming you appoint a major general now as the chief of army staff, anybody, any officer higher than the major general office is automatically retired, or you move to the defense house. I know quite well that the president knows what to do. He cannot just start appointing chiefs of service chiefs by now. He has to wait and take his time. When the National Assembly sits, they go through the whole process, then we'll come out with a formidable thing. We cannot continue the way we are. When the president gives order to service chiefs, and service chiefs will not obey, and somebody will say, Mr. President cannot force them, neither can Mr. President do the job alone. I think Tinubu has a different view of it.
Well, anyways, for me, I really want your view on the issue being playing out, or rather being as the leading story on the front page of the Punch. Dangote and Port Harcourt refinery orders will not change fuel price. NNPCL is already letting us know. So those that were shouting hooray and waiting for the Messiah Dangote refinery to help out to deal with this price increase, well, it looks as if they might just be hitting the hard rock.
it will never change the price because the federal government has made up their mind on what to do. You see, the government is an entity that after God is them. After God, you come to the government of every...
So whether Dangote goes out to give us over 100 liters per day,
it does not change. It does not change the whole thing because the indices, the variable cost of producing the liters is still there. This thing is based on American Price Index, API. So if you are talking of API, it is not locally decided. They still need to maintain their equipment all over. The cost of maintaining the equipment of oil industry is so much higher.
So what is the profit? What is the gain of we having an indigenous refinery in the country, and yet we still buy at the market-controlled world price?
The only benefit you can derive from that is you have a free flow of fuel everywhere, but it does not affect the price positively.
That's a big one.
Yes.
Okay, let's move over to another headline that seems to be making the rounds on all the dailies this morning, of which there's been a reply, a comeback from, well, I won't say the source, but on the headline it stated that on the front page of the Punch says Naira trades 461 Naira to per dollar at an investor's window. CBN denies any form of devaluation. And we know yesterday all over on the social media space there was news, or what should I say, allegations that Nigeria's Naira had been devaluated. But now the CBN has come out to say that is not true. What's your take to this?
Economic policies are not discussed on the pages of newspapers. You do not expect the federal government to come out and tell the world that they've devalued Naira. You know what it means for the economy. This is done systematically. And that is why the CBN governor and the Ministry of Finance should work in tandem. But I don't think they are doing that for now. Whether we like it or not, the Naira has been devalued. But you do not expect any sensible or right-thinking government official to come out and say, we have devalued our Naira. In that case, you are scaring investors. Those who are already here, they want to pack their load and go. Those who are about coming in will be scared.
So the speculation might just be true.
Yes, there is no smoke without fire, they say. The speculation, as far as I'm concerned, is true. But even if I were to be the CBN governor or the Minister of Finance, I would never tell you we have devalued. It's not possible.
Okay, what I feel is possible is for us to take one or two more calls
before
we truly wrap things up today.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. Your name, your location, please.
This is Mr. Udugo calling from Abraka, Delta State.
All right, Mr. Ndugo, please have your say.
I'll take to this fuel issue is just the subsidy we don't know have just take place immediately like that. At least Nigerians need to be informed to enable them put their affairs together. You can see today now the cost of living is not okay, and it's affecting all civil servants to business people. Imagine every salary earner now, your transportation to your place of work is ×2. Even in their offices, there is no light for you to use fuel and sit down in the hot atmosphere in your office. The fuel that you buy for a day for about let me say 10,000, you are now buying 20,000. So to run the affairs of the office will be that difficult. So I would like to plead to the federal government to look into that and call back the subsidy, and say in period of time like this, there's going to be subsidy. But in anything we are doing, we should inform Nigerians before putting them in place. That's my take. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That was our last caller for the show today.
And funny enough, his plea, I doubt if it will have any effect because NNPC has told us that the price will still remain whether we plea or not. And the federal government seems not to be backing down on the issue of the fuel subsidy removal.
But Mark, you know that
should we go to the mountain then?
Because you are not a Christian, I'm an ordained bishop. I can pray on your behalf.
Okay.
Yes, but
I'm a Christian.
But the issue is people will continue to talk until one day the person that knows Joseph will sit on the throne. Because saying and unsaying is an undoing of an old man in the house. And we cannot continue to be.
Domo, you're adding more problem to them. They seem to be on the edge, and you are giving them parables to.
I think it is just
to give them more
better if you had just said he who goes to the filling station on time gets fuel.
But this is your filling station issue. I'm beginning to be suspicious of her.
I saw her close to one.
No, she just came from Asaba 2 days ago.
Okay, well, anyways, let's let her be.
With that being said, we have come to the end of this segment, and we cannot end it without thanking Comrade Feodomo for being with us, well, all throughout the week. And wow, making
Well,
it
anyways,
around.
I feel more thanks to come to Odomo when he fulfills his promise. He promised me about 10 liters of petrol yesterday.
I was at the station, I didn't see you.
Okay.
Now that I see a jerry can, so I fulfill my part.
Okay, well,
Alright,
anyways,
Odomo, please
promises
fulfill your
never
promises. And with that being said, thank you very much for being with us.
Yeah,
We
God
look
bless
forward
you.
to seeing you next week.
Jesus Taris.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for making the paper review on Quest today, your morning tea. Have a lovely Friday.